So, Levi,
Yeah.
how long have you been a vegan?
Birth?
Your entire life, huh?
Yeah.
And have you ever eaten cooked food?
No.
Never. You've been a raw vegan since birth.
Yeah.
How old are you?
9.
9 years old. Do you have any desire to eat like pizza or ice cream or anything? No? What do you think of that kind of food?
I don't think people should be eating that, really.
Really?
It's not good for you.
Wow. Do you take any like supplements or anything? Do you take like a B12 or DHA? Do you know any of those things? Do you take any of them?
I don't know what you're talking
You
about.
don't know take it? Okay.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Out of everyone who's sitting down right now, who's vegan?
Woo! I'm vegan. I'm raw vegan. Sort of.
Now, you have friends who eat like pizza and they eat cheese and meat and stuff, right?
Yeah, I have friends that eat meat.
What do you understand that? Do you understand why they like that kind of food?
Yeah, because they were born that way. And they're addicted to it.
Good answer.
And then I know some kids that don't want to eat meat, they have to because of their parents.
Right, they're forced to. If there's one thing you want to say to the world about being vegan, what would it be?
It's healthy and it's ethical. And we never get sick.
Huh? Are you hanging out in the grass? Yeah? What's the grass feel like?
Okay, I'm Kai, this is Legolas, 100% raw vegan pregnancy and still 100% raw baby, no supplements, stronger than any baby I've seen, 5 months old.
Story about being young at heart. For most of us, reaching the age of 72 means taking it easy a little bit, time to relax, maybe a light workout here and there. That's not the way this 72-year-old California man lives. This guy is Jim Morris. He has been bodybuilding for close to half a decade, and he shows no signs of slowing down. Now, he was a former Mr. America. Get this, at the age of 72, he works out every single day for an hour, 6 days a week. And here's his diet: nuts, beans, fruits, and vegetables.
As people age, they try to find ways to preserve their appearance, and a Florida woman says she has found the fountain of youth.
News Channel 5's Tanya Rogers joins us now with this special report. Tanya?
Well, Jane, Hannah, and I have had several people ask me, how old is she? She is a grandmother, and she is eligible for a senior citizen discount. Her quest started because she wanted to feel healthy and have lots of energy, but she has reaped more benefits than she anticipated.
And here we have some ginger.
Annette Larkins shows off her garden in her Miami-Dade County backyard. It's full of fruits and vegetables. Every corner of her garden has something that is edible.
And I've been eating them, and they're so good.
She also collects rainwater to drink and water her plants. Annette says the food in her garden is her fountain of youth.
I'm very vibrant. I have lots of energy, as I told you before. I'm up at no later than 5:30 in the morning as a rule, and I'm ready to go.
Annette's husband owned a meat store in the 1960s. That's when she became a vegetarian. But as the years went by, she became a raw vegan. She does not eat any animal products. Her food is unprocessed and uncooked.
My diet consists of fruits, nuts, vegetables, and seeds. I do a lot of sprouting of seeds, and as you can see from my garden, of course, these are the raw foods that I eat.
Annette also juices fruits and veggies. You name it, she can juice it. Grapefruits, pineapples, even spinach. But not everyone in the Larkins family eats and drinks this way. Annette's husband of almost 54 years chose to continue to eat the way he did when they were first married.
I really wish I would have did what she's done.
Amos Larkin says people even wonder if Annette is his wife.
They'll ask me, what am I doing with a young girl? Or they'll say, you got your granddaughter with you, you know, and things like that, you know.
Amos takes prescription medicines daily for high blood pressure and diabetes. Annette says she doesn't even take an aspirin. So how old is this size 4 beauty? Annette just turned 70 years old.
This one lady who is my age, she said, you know, was telling her friend that I used to tell them about eating, and they wouldn't listen. And her reply was to that, or her response to that was, look at her now and look at us.
She's an amazing person, though. Oh, man. I mean, really. She do everything. I mean, build computers. Oh, she's make all her own clothes, grow her own food, speak 3 languages. You know, it's amazing.
Actually, the most recent record I've set, world record, is the record for the heaviest weight ever carried by a human. beings. So it's called the yoke walk. It's a strongman event, and I have carried 555 kilos over a course of 10 meters. Yeah, that's the most recent one.
That's amazing. Now, you're also known as the vegan badass.
I have done that because I'm quite compassionate with animals, and I found out in one day that it doesn't make any sense if you see a bird or an animal suffering right before you, that it hurts you and you want to help the animal, but then at the same time you go and have meat, which means that another animal has to be killed for that. So I thought, okay, it doesn't make any sense. Only in one case you don't see the suffering, so you're like, okay, this is meat, this is not an animal. And suddenly the piece of meat had a face for me, and I had to stop eating meat. So that is why what led to the whole thing. Interesting about being vegan as a strength athlete is that most people would consider a strength athlete to be like eating tons of animal products, like milk, dairy products, and of course meat. And in most cases, that's also the case. Like most of strength athletes do that. And myself, being led to this lifestyle by ethical reasons, I was expecting a decrease in my performances, actually, and I was completely surprised by the fact that the exact opposite happened. My numbers went up, my recovery got better, and everything was perfect. So what I'm trying to do now is trying to get that information and my experiences to people, and just telling them, hey, it's only a myth. I know that mama has told you to have your dairy products, your milk and your meat, but that's only what mama told you. There's no scientific, and it's actually the case, there's no scientific paper or anything that says you need animal products to be strong or to be a well performer at sports.
Government and media almost exclusively blame lack of exercise and sugary foods as a cause of diabetes. But I wanted to talk with an actual expert on the role of diet and diabetes. I went to speak with premier physician, diabetes expert, and researcher, Dr. Neil Barnard. What role does sugar play in causing diabetes?
It drives me crazy. Diabetes is not and never was caused by eating a high carbohydrate diet, and it's not caused by eating sugar. The cause of diabetes is a diet that builds up the amount of fat into the blood. I'm talking about a typical meat-based, animal-based diet. You can look into the muscle cells of the human body and you find that they're building up tiny particles of fat that's causing insulin resistance. What that means is the sugar that is naturally from the foods that you're eating can't get into the cells where it belongs. It builds up in the blood, and that's diabetes.
I had never heard that meat was associated with causing diabetes. We had always been told that sugar or obesity caused it. Renowned weight loss bariatric surgeon Dr. Garth Davis, though, agreed.
Everyone thinks that you get diabetic because of carbs. They did a huge study in that EPIC study, 500,000 people. Carbs consumption was inversely related with diabetes. In other words, the more carbs someone ate, the less diabetes they had. But meat was strongly correlated. Get that aha moment. The starches, the carbs are good for you. They're not bad for you. This idea that carbs make you fat is utterly ridiculous. Carbs cannot make you fat in and of themselves. We have storage in our muscles and in our liver for carbs called glycogen. So when we eat carbs, we either store it or we burn it. Now, eat fat, that goes straight to your fat. Your body can't turn those carbs into fat unless you're really overdoing the calories. Obesity, it's a death sentence. You're at much higher risk of getting cancer. You're almost certainly going to get diabetes. I mean, no one wants to fat shame, and we all want everybody to be comfortable with our bodies, but this movement to be comfortable with our bodies has made us comfortable with being sick, and that's a huge problem. I go into the hospital and I look around me, people on dialysis, all these sick people, and just about every disease in there is because of what people are eating.
Despite human hubris, the resonance of life verifying our blueprints. Who then believes that an animal must die just because you hunger mother me in the eyes? as I'm at the end of my rope trying to explain compassion. No creature should suffer for some passion. No being should cry while you are bleeding them dry. A calf bereft of its mother, I have to ask myself why. For some cheese on your sandwich or some milk in your coffee, there was blood on our hands and we can't get it off. Seems like a better way of life has got to exist, where we as fellow animals decide to uplift. This probably sounds crazy to all those who don't care, but this track is for you and the compassion we share. There's so many things to change, where to start it depends, but rule number one: stop eating your friends. Stop supporting industries that exploit and destroy. You see vegan activists and then start to get annoyed. How annoyed must they feel to still fall on deaf ears with a message unlike most that is crystal fucking clear? How much land was laid bare for mass profit mega farms that literally thrive off brutality and harm? How many have died from diets of Diet Coke and cheeseburgers, pink paste, ground corpses, eating deep fried murder? The dog or cat living in your house is not food. That truth applies to other animals too. How many trillion fish just end up on a plate? How is that for a fate in which to reincarnate? Hate begets hate, death begets death, and Seth is tired of the mold in which the majority set. Bet you will agree, if you have a heart in your chest, that if you eat everything, one day there's nothing left. Less exploitation results as every factory farm closes. Less demand for fish is less life siphoned from the ocean. Hard work can feed you so much better than blood, and nothing warms the heart any better than love. One consciousness divided among so many forms. Why is domination taken over as the new norm? The bird, the rodent, the fish all have a right to exist. When you kill them, you kill yourself bit by bit. Stick to consistency. Murder is wrong. You never needed to eat flesh to live best all along, but don a mantle of ignorance at the risk of your own health. The Egg McMuffin son getting his chickens going through hell. Tell yourself if you want that necrophagia is justified, but the fruit of the tree is twisted, blistered, and justifies. See, when you eat meat, you are a cannibal, because we are one and we are nothing but animals. Peace.